Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as a therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Brock and Michelle.
Or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or this one, Rumi and Sir Carter. See, black love don't always have to be romantic. It could be platonic. It could be brother-sister love. Did you see those cuties this weekend? Yeah. You see them pictures got released? Mm-hmm. I know Beyonce about to get somebody fired. Because Beyonce do not play. Beyonce did not say we could see them twins, and somehow somebody done got a zoom lens in, and we seen both of them. But what can I say? Both of them cute. And then both of them make my ovaries jump. I don't know who they look like, though. I think Beyonce. You said they like Jay-Z?
They look like Jay-Z.
Well, I mean, he does have a very strong gene. He does have a very strong gene. You know what? I want my 2018 to be as good as Cardi B and Rumi and Sir Carter's. I think those are the three people who are going to be winning in 2018, and I cannot wait. I almost forgot that Beyonce had twins.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I forgot she had other kids, like, because she didn't keep it so low key. But the thing is, Beyonce about to come out with some shit because she's been way too much in the public eye for me. Because, you know, she's the queen of going ghost. Mm-hmm. And she just been out in the media giving us tidbits of life every week. So it is something about to pop off. I don't know if it's an album, a concert, or what, but it's about to be something where she's taking my money.
Well, you know, she's already in record mode. Just on the fact that, hell, she just did a song with Eminem.
Oh, that's true. That Walk on Water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really. It was interesting. It was sound like two different songs, didn't it? It sounded like Eminem was singing the song, then Beyonce was singing the song.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, oh, we like that hook Beyonce did. We like Eminem verse just to combine them, put it on title. But they was good individually, but I don't know if together. Like, maybe I need to listen to the song more than once and go back and listen to it. Don't mind you, I listened to it, but anywho, who was you?
I'm Nero.
And I'm Nyambi.
It's episode 72.
It's 72. Happy Monday, y'all.
Happy Monday.
Was your weekend beautiful as ours was?
Yes.
Ours, again, a quick one. It's cold as hell, though. I don't know what's going on, but somehow fall said, it was like jump from summer to winter. But anywho, go ahead, Nero.
Leave a 5-star review. 5-star. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating and review on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher.
Yeah.
Follow us on that Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Black Love Matters. And remember, that's Black with no K. Yeah. Baby, what you got?
My check-in is, this year just went into hyperdrive, didn't it?
Yes.
Time is flying, and it's not waiting for everyone. Like, as far as planning goes, Nirm, I know we was talking about it Sunday morning. I'm already in January. I'm already in 2018.
Yes.
But as far as planning, like, I'm not ready for Thanksgiving or Christmas. Y'all know Nirm is vegan. I don't know, vegan, vegetarian-ish. I don't know what we're eating. What are we going to do for the holidays, Nero?
I got a turkeyless turkey from Trader Joe's.
What is it made out of?
I don't know. I haven't looked at the ingredients yet.
So you bought it and you ain't look at the damn ingredients?
I forgot to. But I just know I ain't got no turkey.
Soy base or tempeh? Or?
It's probably soy or some type of bean.
Oh, my God. Why do vegetarians and vegans try to replace meat? Just eat vegetables.
Because.
Like, what is wrong with y'all?
They didn't have to taste the meat on their breath, so they know how good a pork chop tastes good.
And y'all be trying to, like, vegan pork chops. No, sis, just make a Brussels sprout salad. You can't have pork chops no more.
But
it's not the question.
We still want to have the flavors, though.
Well, fry a Brussels sprout.
It's not the same.
Exactly. So I don't know. And the thing is, I keep telling y'all, like, I love this season. Like, Nero, don't I usually do like 12 days of cookies? Mm-hmm. I plot out Thanksgiving. Like, only thing I done bought in my freezer to prep for Thanksgiving, I bought 2 bags of cranberries.
For your cranberry chutney?
For my cranberry chutney. And I got my cranberries and I got an orange. I basically have everything I need to make a cranberry chutney. And that's the only thing I can make. And mind you, my cranberry chutney is the bomb.
I'm glad I know. I just found out that orange was for the cranberry chutney because I was planning on eating that bitch for lunch. Oh,
Nero. Why do you play so much?
What?
You can eat one. I bought more than one orange.
You know how I like a good orange.
You know, and it's orange season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So I don't know. I just feel like I don't know what it is, but the year, it's like I'm blinking and it's going fast. Only time the year goes by slow is I think of that Donald Trump is still president. Yeah. Like, that's what's going slow for me, right? His presidency. But everything else, when I look up, I'm like, damn, we're about to be in 2018 already. And like I said before, it's cold as hell.
Yeah.
It went from 80 degrees to 20. We really didn't get a fall this year. We had fall for like a weekend.
Yes.
But it went from cold as hell. But and it already started to snow a little bit. I remember I was driving to the box store and I seen some flurries coming down. I said, "Wait a minute, damn Mother Nature! I'm not ready." Do you even have your gloves and scarves out now? Is that what I need to do today? Is that what Monday is?
Yep, I know where they at.
No, are they clean? Are they ready to go? Is it just one pair of gloves? Are you missing a pair of gloves? It's levels to this glove game.
I gotta go to the dollar store.
No, you go to what's the Ocean State?
Yeah,
you don't go to Ocean State and buy all them cheap ass leather gloves. But what I was gonna say is it's levels to like the winter coat and the winter gear game. Because I feel like you got to have your sharp winter gear when you're going out stunting. You got to have your work winter gear. Then you got to have your winter gear. So when that motherfucker start talking about we got 18, 20 inches of snow, you got to have your Sorel boots. You got to have your Parker on. You got to have your -0 glove. Like we got to make sure we have all the different types of gloves.
Yeah, you got to put on your LL Bean 5-in-1 jacket.
Yes, you can't play. So I need to make sure all that stuff's ready. And like my clothes are ready, but my outerwear, like I've just been reaching in the closet for jackets. And every time I go out, that wind creep up my jacket. I'd be like, not thick enough. Like I need to break out my parka.
I told you need a new winter coat.
I do need a new winter coat. But I'm just kind of going through that. And I'm busy, but I'm getting back to my happy. That's what I will say. Y'all know my cycle. I'm kind of coming to the end of that, like of my productivity. I'm getting back up to that productivity thing again. So I'm just thankful and grateful. I went to church. Church was a word today. Church was packed today. We had baby dedication, which I know I'm in my feelings because, it's Scorpio season, but that Leo moon in there. So at the baby dedication, I knew I was in my feelings where I cried at the baby dedication. I don't even know why. The parents dedicated their baby to Jesus. I should be happy. But it just touched me a little bit.
Why you cry?
I don't know. It was just something about it. When the pastor was like, "All stand who stand behind the baby," and everybody stood. I said, "Look at us standing behind the baby, supporting the baby."
I'm glad I wasn't there.
And it was a long service though. And pastor already a little long-winded. And then, when we ready to do the benediction and get out, he said, "Okay, now we're going to dedicate the baby." Everybody was like, you can see everybody in the audience like, what the
fuck?
And the old ladies, they own their routine, right? They got their little slow cooker going, so you messing up their recipes, right? Because they used to get out at 1:15. We went to about 1:30, 1:45 today. I know they was like, wait a damn minute. But the pastor, he talked a good word. You could tell that he going through some stuff himself. It's interesting to kind of see even the ebbs and flows of your own pastor. That church massacre done touched him, okay? He said, I'm going to just detour a little bit because, my pastor liked the themes, right? So he really big on themes. Right. So he was in this theme of like worry and anxiety and how to work through that and what that means, right? He said he had to sidetrack. He said, I had to talk about what's going on in the news. And you remember I said before he had little conservative views? He turned all that around, though, honey. He talked about, thinking that stuff can't happen in your neighborhood. And he said, I'm going to just make a plan. I don't know. I ain't supposed to mix church and state, but we got to talk about these gun reform. We got to talk about these guns. He said, I'm all for folks having their weapons and stuff. I used to be a hunter. I get it, right? And I'm all for protecting yourself. He said, but I just don't know if you need an AKA-47 to protect yourself in your house.
What's an AKA-47?
That's what everybody in the church said. You know what he mean. You know he's from the country. He said, I don't know if you need all of that.
I don't know if you need an AKA-47.
Like he said, in church, I don't know. I'm not going to come here and talk political what you do, but I just need you to think. I ain't need a AKA-47 to shoot a deer. I'm not saying you can't have your guns and your shoot. And he said that spirit just not in me no more. I don't go hunting like I used to. He used to hunt with bow and arrows and shit. That's what I'm saying. He gets sidetracked, start talking about everything. So, it was just interesting. And I appreciated that for him as the pastor, the leader of the church, to say, now, church, we love the Lord. But he said we do have to vote and we do have to do policy change and we have to be aware of these things. And this is, and he went on to talk about, there's no sacred place. A lot of people think church is this sacred place that you come and it can be untouched, but it can be touched. He said about when people say things like church is sacred, this one happened there. It's equivalent to people saying this one happened here, right? Mm-hmm. So you think of white people in neighborhoods. I can't believe this happened in my neighborhood. I can't believe this happened to my church. And that's what he's saying. Like it can. And these are the times that we live in. And so I appreciated him kind of bringing that to the forefront because I think a lot of people in the audience never thought about it that way and thought that their vote and who they vote for have an impact on that. But he broke it down to that level. He said, so he's like, I know it ain't nothing out now. He said, but I'm sure by the time we get to voting in 18 months to 2 years, it's going to be around. And don't forget what done happened over and over again, right? Mm-hmm. So I was, I just appreciated that. And that reiterated to me why I did choose that church, even though the choir be on the struggle bus. Because they was. And he ended with, you got to stay prayed up. Mm-hmm. In this idea of looking up and not choking up. You know he loved good metaphor. Jesus. Like, so, you know, he's basically saying, don't choke, honey. Like, you can't choke up on this. So, yes, you have to recognize what happened. He said, but you got to have a clear mind. So, as church, that don't mean be scared to come to church and, you know, be looking side-eye at everybody. But, you know, that means staying prayed up, staying aware of your surroundings, and voting and being a part of policy change. He said, staying choking up is ignoring it. He said, it ain't good enough for us just to pray. That's surprising when he said that. He said, we're going to pray. We're going to pray on this, and we're going to be prayer warriors. But he came with that hot but. We have to go and vote. We have to tell our he had even had like a little template for us to write. Oh. Senators, like, if you feel like, he said, we got to do more. Like, you have to continue to move forward. Like, the prayers, you know, I forgot. I'm trying to word it how he did. He said, you know, God sends different angels to help work, right? But we got to put them to work. So in putting them to work is you got to vote. You got to do so. I just appreciated church today. Like, you know, it wasn't the traditional, it kind of turned to Psalms 100. It wasn't that. It was a stay woke. Oh. Stay woke and stay prayed up. And like, you just dropped the mic and like, bring that baby up here. Oh. I almost felt sorry for the family because they was like, oh, this is a little heavy. The other thing, last thing, I'm going to pass it to you now. I guess the family was little Mitt's baby and mom was white. Because I walked in church, I said, there's a lot of white people in here. I got to check that, y'all. Because y'all know I believe in praising the Lord. When I be in my moments, and I don't like white people looking, asking questions. But he brought it back to them because, you know, he used some art slang. He said, y'all understand later. But that baby was cute. And he was lit the whole service. He was a good baby because I thought any moment he was going to just run out of there. But he didn't. He was good. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, Niram, what's going on with you?
So I went on my first bike ride.
Yes.
First of all, it's cold as fuck.
It's cold as hell. I can't believe when you said, I said you going outside. When you said bike ride, I thought you was going to just do it in the house. And I was like, oh, you going outside? I can't help you with that.
You know, I got all this winter running gear. So I was like, well, this shit can be transformative.
Yeah. What's the hardest part about running or biking in the cold? You got to get through, the first 10 minutes or something?
Yep. You got to get your body warm.
Yeah. How long that take?
About 15 minutes or something like that. Well, you know, some people warm up before they go outside.
How you do that?
So you do jumping jacks and shit in the house, and then you run outside.
Hell to the no.
But still, your body still needs to acclimate. I think the hard part, like with me riding this bike, it's the wind. Like, so.
Oh, you don't got goggles on? Is your eyes? Or?
No, but it's not the eyes. It's just the cold wind hitting your face. So you know I got that mask, but it's still like cold wind hitting your face and your body and shit like that. You
putting on Vaseline to shape it?
Hell yeah.
Oh, but still go through it?
But still. So, you know, I went out there. I did about 5-6 miles on that bike.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, but, you know, the area where we at is hilly as hell. So,
is it?
Hell yeah, that 5 miles took a lot out of me on that damn bike ride. My ass was hurting. Shit.
Well, that's the thing with bikes. That's when it's hard. Like, you got to find a good cushion. You ain't get a new cushion to replace it?
Yeah, I got a new seat.
Oh, okay.
But I'm going to end up taking it back.
Why?
Because my ass is still hurting.
Okay, now, what's the level of the
Pause. So that's the thing.
Did you say pause? Don't Damon Dash this.
Pause. No, that's the thing. Like, when I went to the bike shop to get fitted for the bike, she was like, you know, we tried out a bunch of seats, at least 6 or 7 of them, because he's like, you know, saddles is what they call it with bike seats.
Yeah.
You know, they're very subjected to the person, and you know, I got a fat ass.
First of all, I didn't even know Niram was gone one day for like the whole afternoon, and I'm like, "Where were you going?" He was like, "I'm getting fitted for a bike." Y'all, did y'all know it was a process to even get fitted for a damn bike? Niram is so extra. You know where I'm from, how I was raised. You just go into the Walmart, to the Target, and you point to the bike you want, and then you get on it and you ride it. You can adjust the seat.
Not anymore, baby.
That's it. That's the only option you get, up or down.
Bike fix is serious, especially when you got a road bike. Hell yeah. But you can blame Corey on this one. He the one that got me into this.
No, I'm excited for you to do it. I just didn't know it was this in depth.
Yes. You got to go, because, you know, when it comes to road bikes and shit like that, there's like all types of geometries and angles that they get and shit like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a bunch of other shit. So,
well, keep us updated. But that's good you did your first 5 miles. I mean, 5 miles of anything is not no hoe if you haven't did it before.
Hell yeah.
So, congratulations.
Shit, the house was burning. It was one time I just sat on the side of the road. I almost called you.
Oh, you had a moment?
I almost had a moment. I was like, you come get me. Come get mine.
I would have came and got you. It ain't no shame in that. Ain't no shame in that.
I can see you now. Near?
What?
Come get me.
Ain't no shame in that.
Where you at?
Where you at?
I'm 2 miles away from home.
Oh.
These hills ain't no hoe.
Oh, Jesus.
So, you know, doing that. What else? We watched 13 Sins over the weekend.
Yes.
You and your damn movie choices.
It was good. Why didn't you like it?
It reminded me of the girl with the dragon tattoo.
Well, tell the folks about it. Why didn't you like it?
It was an okay movie.
Okay.
It was all right. It was just, you can tell it's a Nyambi movie choice. And Nia can understand what I mean when I be like, it's a Nyambi movie choice. So, like, this person was getting these phone calls, and they was doing these challenges or whatever. And it was 13 of them. And every challenge that you got like some sort of money or whatever. But it was like, the shit you had to do was like shit that to get you in jail. Like kill a person.
It was not like first to begin. The first one was like kill a fly.
Mm-hmm.
Then it was like eat the fly.
Yeah.
And then it progressively got worse.
Yes. So it's almost like the blue whale challenge out there.
What's the blue whale challenge?
So this is something the kids be doing, the suicidal kids.
Oh.
So the blue whale challenge, like every day you, instead of like hurting somebody else, you hurting yourself.
What?
And then the last day of the challenge is for you to commit suicide.
What the hell?
Yeah. It's called the blue whale challenge.
People are doing this?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Why?
I don't know. Are you Googling it?
Yes. It's scary.
Well, you know, like I said, I got classes with undergrads. I mean, my 30-year-old ass is in the class with 16, 17-year-olds.
And they be talking about
So they be talking about the blue whale challenge and everything like that.
Jesus.
And the last day of the challenge is for you to commit suicide.
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah.
Oh, I know I couldn't have been it. I lost.
And so I feel like 13 Sins was the opposite of blue whale. So instead of you killing somebody, instead of you killing yourself, you had to kill somebody you love or something like that.
Oh my God. It was interesting. Don't do it like that. So it starts off like you said, this guy gets a phone call, but it's kind of playing into it, and it's like the systems against him, and it's like you're rooting for him, and you're almost rooting for the folks that's getting them to like win. Like, it was interesting. If y'all looking for something interesting to watch, it's called 13 Sins. I think it was good.
What else? We might not have an episode on Friday because I got a work trip.
Yeah, we'll let y'all know. What we might do is do something special Friday. So if we have a podcast on Friday, it might be like you getting to know us more, or we might just answer kind of a bunch of questions that y'all emailed us. So it might not be as much hot topics and pillow talks, and it might be a little bit shorter. But we just wanted to give y'all a heads up. But we'll let y'all know by Wednesday or so. We're on social media what we doing. But we just wanted to give you a heads up. And also, just as the weeks are coming around the holidays, we might adjust our schedules just a little bit. And also next week, we'll let y'all know what our schedule will be for the new year, because like as I hinted at y'all, I actually starting a new job at the first of the year, and I got some exciting announcements to come with that, right now?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. We got some pillow talk?
Yeah, what we got?
So the first thing I got was your boy Kanye. Brother Kanye, what's going on? So y'all know Kanye cut ties with Tidal. What was that? About 6 months to a year ago?
Yeah.
And it's reported by, I think it's Complex, that Kanye is taking steps to trademark a name called Yeezy Sound. The trademark application was filed last week, and the name states that it will be used for the purpose of streaming music, audio, images, videos, and other multimedia content over the internet, mobile services, wireless networks, and other computer networks, and electronic communication networks. And I just thought that was interesting. Like, what do you think about that? Do you think it's room for another streaming device? Mind you, let's remind the folks of the pettiness. So West was the key player in the Jay-Z's Tidal, kind of bringing everything together, and he decided to leave the streaming service after being accusing them of breaching the contract. He reportedly says that Tidal and Jay-Z and them owe him $3 million. Kanye, I don't know if they owe him $3 million. What's your thoughts on this? You the social media, you the streaming, you the DJ. I think we're all set, but maybe not.
Well, the thing, from what I heard or read from this, is that the Yeezy Sound will not only encompass him, but also the good music soundtrack.
I mean, so does Apple Music, Spotify, and Tidal.
But wait, though. Okay. But also exclusive Kardashian content.
Now, that might be it. But I thought the Kardashian, I don't know what's the mama name? Chris. I don't know if Chris is willing to share that with that Negro. Because don't they already got their own apps?
They got apps, but they ain't got streaming.
What the fuck are they going to stream? Just them?
Yeah. I would assume so.
You know who would make money if the Kardashians had a podcast? They probably will make coin, won't they?
Yeah.
That might be the it factor then. If he can get the Kardashians to do Kardashian things on there, he might be able to get That might win it.
So I would even think, because everybody loves Keeping Up the Kardashians and all
I
that
mean,
stuff.
let's not include everyone.
Okay.
A fraction of the American
A
population.
majority of the people.
Yeah.
So imagine for them, they doing extra content.
Yeah.
Instead
behind
of
the scenes.
Instead of, where they at, on Bravo or something like that, E. So instead of putting that shit on E, they put it on the Yeezy Sound platform. People will just sign up just so they can
just to see what the fuck just to see what outfit they picking out.
Yeah.
Child.
So I would assume that it would be more of that type of stuff. Like it'd be more exclusive content. Like, for example, this Beyonce and Eminem song.
Yes.
Came out on Tidal before it came out anywhere else.
Yeah.
Why? Because
Beyonce, yeah.
Yeah, Beyonce and Jay-Z. So I figure, they'll have something like that with the Yeezy Sound if they did that.
I mean, but Beyonce is a singer.
I understand, but the Kardashians are entertainers.
They are brand. Yeah, they ain't a singer, but they are a brand.
They may not be singing, but they entertainers. So,
or the only other way I could think of Kanye winning this is if his is like half the price of everybody else. So what's everyone's about $10 now?
Yeah.
He go back old school and be like, mine $5. I think everybody be like, well.
So if anything, I would think it's more of a competitor to like Netflix or Hulu.
You tried it.
I'm for real. In addition to the music thing they bring it on, his catalogs and things of that sort. But in addition to that, he's bringing on like visual content.
Yeah.
With the Kardashians.
Yeah, and I think Kanye, now that you're saying it, now it's making a little more sense. So now, not even just with Kim and her sisters or her family, Kanye, he's allegedly a designer. So I see him incorporating that onto it, right?
Yeah.
So the different clothes, fashion looks, his shoes, that whole process being dialect.
Yeah.
But is he good on camera? I don't know if it's just for keeping up with the Kardashians, he don't stay much. But could he perform? I guess it's just a persona he had to put on. Like, could cameras follow him and he be a show pony? Or is he one of them people where the cameras put on you in that way and he shut down? So the Kardashians are show ponies, right?
Well,
so when no camera lights go on, they're ready in action. I don't know if from what I've seen on Kanye on these Kardashians, he's always skinning and grinning in the background, even before they've got to this place. So even back when he was still college dropout, right? Do y'all still remember that episode when it was like Kim and Courtney taking New York and he came to visit her and she was like, Mr. West is in the building. And he was like in oversized Cartiers and just an overdressed nigga. He still was just he did not read to the camera. He was not loving hip hop ready. He needs to go to the Mona Scott Young School of Public Image.
I hear what you're saying, but I also think so. Kanye West, ever since he's been doing music, he has like recorded like all the studio sessions.
Oh, he has?
That he has been in. Yeah.
Oh.
So that's how they found out about that. Everybody's pet peeve. What's her name? Taylor Swift. Is that the one that was on Famous?
Yeah.
Because Kanye West recording it because he was in the studio, so he records all his studio sessions.
Yeah.
So I can see how that can be additional content.
Yeah.
I
think that's so interesting. I don't know why more artists don't put that out. And am I just corny who's curious about that process, or is there something secretive about that? Like, what is that they don't share that process? Like, I'm so curious about what the songwriter, and they don't have to show every single song, every single step, but I'm curious what is the process to make a song from beginning to end.
Yeah.
So like, what comes first, the lyrics or the beat?
Depends.
And then how do you do that? Like, so if you got the beat, how do you do the lyrics? Or if you got the lyrics, and how do you shift it to the beat? Like, I'm very curious on what that looks like. Or people be in the studio and being like, that was bad. Look, trash.
Yeah. Could you imagine like somebody being like, yeah, dog, you need to don't take them headphones off.
Don't say that again. Look.
Don't take them headphones off.
That was a good warm up. Look, that's a good warm up.
I think you need to go in there and try that shit again.
Look, that was a good warm up. And I'm just I'm more, since I've been in this creative realm, I'm more interested in other creatives' processes because in the work I did very pragmatic work, or very linear work.
Yes.
In my thought process and the way I organize and prep to do my work is very different than I have to when I do the podcast. And I think I still use a very linear, traditional approach. And I'm just curious on how some other creatives go about it. And I'm curious about that process.
Yeah.
Right. To see how folks do it.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm more appreciative of. And seeing, when do they walk away? How do they engage in it? And how do they take criticism? How do you build it? Like, how do you build it? Because I feel like what the stereotypes I see be on the movies, and they're making a song. They're like, yeah, that's the beat. And it'd be like 3 minutes. And they're like, okay, that's the song. I'm like, damn, y'all niggas just created a whole song in 3 minutes, and it take me 6 months to do a project. What?
And I figured some songs are like that. You are so intuitive and they come together like that. But for others, you got a lot of other people that come in there. Like you may have a producer for example, like Swiss Beats.
Yeah.
Whenever he make a beat for somebody, he always got like the chorus or something already together.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. Every song that Swiss Beats has performed or like been a beat on, he's always on the hook somewhere, or he's always a part of it.
Something ad-libbing.
Yes, because when you work with him, knowing that he's going to give you more or less a full package type thing.
Yes.
So he got the beat, he got the breaks where the rap is going to be, he even got the chorus.
Yeah.
So think about it. Get Me Body to.
Oh, he did that.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, that was him yelling.
Yeah.
Okay.
To.
I'm not hating on Swiss Beats. I like Swiss
And I'm not hating on him,
Yeah.
but like, so you got producers you work with Swiss Beats, you getting something like that. Whereas you might work with a Timbaland.
You hear Timberland sound. You
Exactly.
don't gotta say nothing.
Or you might work with like a Metro Boomin. He might send you, a CD with
Some
40
10
some
hands
beats
clapping.
on it.
Boom boom clap.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just I said. I when I seen it, I was like, I don't know Kanye.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, I'm not a huge fan of streaming services. Only reason I have Tidal now is because it was free on Sprint.
Mm-hmm.
I've never got into. Look, I'm Team Pandora still.
You never got into it because I was already paying for it. You just took my password.
I'm Team Pandora. I just put in the artist and I just listen to them all day and just listen to the ads. Is that petty? Because it was a moment I was so into Pandora that I didn't know no new songs. I was just listening to what Pandora told me to.
I know.
I ain't no. It was like a 2-year span where I ain't even listened to a new damn CD.
Nope. You just.
I'm just now getting back to when people are like, oh, this song is out, and listen to it. I know one of the listeners told us listen to Sam Smith. Sam Smith CD's good. Tamar CD's good. I listen to some old school Brandy. Like I'm finally listening to CDs as they come out new. Cause please y'all, 2 years ago I was listening to Anita Baker, caught up in the rapture of love. Okay, what am I lying there?
Nope.
Come on.
Not at all.
You got anything else about Kanye?
No, that's not it.
I mean, he black. You know what? I'm Issa. I'm
Yeah.
Issa in 2018. I'm rooting for everybody black. So if Kanye want to come out with a streaming service, you know what? What Paid in Full said? We all can eat, son.
Everybody eats big.
Tidal can eat. Yeezy Music can eat. Apple can eat. We all can eat, son.
See, the thing with those type of things is that they got that exclusivity type shit. So what happens is you got people just buying up all these damn streaming services so they can hear it at once. So people buy Tidal so they can listen to Beyonce shit.
Ooh.
I'm for real. Like you buy Tidal so you can listen to Beyonce stuff.
Beyonce and Prince.
And not even Prince anymore.
Prince not on Tidal no more?
It's on Tidal, but it's also on Apple Music.
Oh, I didn't know his estate. Oh, his estate probably switched.
Yeah, Jay-Z rapped about it.
It was only Prince is only on Tidal.
He rapped about it on 444.
Jesus. Well, all these recording labels about to smart up on this shit in a minute. And it ain't gonna be, never mind. I'm not even gonna claim it.
So, all that stuff. They even trying to figure out like what the fuck is a stream? Like how many
They don't get credit for the streams?
They get credit, but for example, 150 streams or I think it's 150 streams is like equivalent to one album being sold.
I don't know if that's fair.
And for example, and that's like how they're trying to change shit up now.
Yeah, I don't know if
so
that's fair.
For example, when Samsung bought 1 million copies of Jay-Z album.
Was that really 1 million copies?
Before it went out. And then they sent it to all y'all phones. Yeah. Even sent it to your phone.
Yeah, was that? Yeah, I got that too.
So,
Jay-Z have given me a lot of free things. I'm appreciative.
So, that's what I'm saying. Like,
is that why he wanted all that money for that concert?
Yeah, probably.
Why is the concert not doing good? Is that tickets too high?
I think so.
Tickets too high, Jay.
So,
I'm down on them.
So, even think about that. You got a company that has bought 1 million copies of it.
Yeah.
And then now they're just giving it out for free. Yes. So those are still considered streams or whatever, but there's no rule about that. So they had to change the rules.
White people kill me.
So even for this, like when 444 came out, he came out on like all the iHeartRadio station platforms.
Yes.
For, 24 hours or whatever. And he played the whole album.
Yeah.
Like those streams had to count for something. So they had to change had to change the rules for that. And then even the Tidal deal. Where everybody got Tidal for free, But AT&T also bought 1 million copies.
Yeah.
And gave them out to people for free.
Child, I don't know. This is your talk. This is the creative. See now y'all creatives done went out and created all this shit. Now you want the pragmatic folks to come figure it out. Now y'all want the type A people to come look. Well, what counts as the streams? We're over here creating.
But that's the issue though. Like with the game changing, nobody could ever thought that from albums to CDs, streaming would be the next thing. And
how not?
Well, shit. Blame Napster.
Ooh. Oh, Napster. Yeah, because if that's true. So if that counted, then Napster would still be, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, but Napster was stealing it.
But, Napster is what led to iTunes.
Come on. Talk about white people robbing, pillaging, stealing.
Napster was the logical thing to happen.
You think they pissed?
Yeah. Well, they may be a little pissed, but the dude from Napster, he ain't that pissed because he owned some stakes in Facebook.
Okay,
like he was one of the initial angel investors for Facebook.
Okay, good, because that's bullshit if not, honey.
So he got money.
Yeah, but I don't know if he got the streaming money now.
Shit, he got Facebook money though.
Come on,
Facebook money is pretty big.
You're right.
So, but just to wrap this all up, so we can go to the next topic. Like, there's so many different ways you can stream. Like you can. For example, stream for free. So when somebody stream
Nyambi's way.
Not even Pandora. I was even thinking about Spotify. So you get a free.
Spotify's free.
Yeah. So you can buy a free Spotify. You sign up for a free Spotify account, and then you stream the album. Does the person who signed up for a free Spotify account and the person who paid $10 a month, are those streams different? Because one is paying for the service and one is getting it for free and they listening to ads?
No, I think we got to separate making money in numbers of streams. Right? So so does Spotify have to pay the artist?
Yeah.
So I think that's where that $10 and stuff comes in. But I don't think we got to separate by how much money they make compared to how many streams they get. Those are two different things. You don't think? My type A is telling me them two different things.
Well, these are the questions that are popping up.
Yeah.
Like, is a platform like Pandora, who streams the music, but people don't pay? Well, now they do. They do Pandora One.
Ain't nobody bought that.
But before then, it was just you sign up and then they play ads in between, and then record labels get money off those ad sales or the ads in there. So does those streams count differently than someone who's paying $10 a month?
Why would they? Is listen to the music.
But somebody's paying for it. Somebody's paying not to hear ads. So in essence, they're paying for the music.
That's bullshit.
And they're paying for
the
the on demand portion of the music. Where Spotify is not on demand. It's
like flying in a plane. So first class costs more than economy, but you still get to the same place.
But you go down, everybody dying.
Come on.
So I think that's more or less the conversation that people are having these days, just trying to figure out, like, what does a stream mean in this day in social media? Like, does someone who pay for the platform stream cost rates more than someone who doesn't pay for the platform?
Gotcha.
If a company goes out and buy 1 million copies of it and then they give it out, they just give it out.
I mean, but if you pay for it, though. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's an ongoing conversation. I didn't mean to go that way. I was just more confused on what I thought Kanye was just going to have a radio station where it's just Kanye for 24 hours. You know how Kanye be.
I know.
What was that on Empire? They had Lucius talking about he see colors.
Yeah.
I mean, he see music. What?
Yeah.
Was that a play on Kanye?
Yeah.
Kanye, what did he say? He see music. Or not see music. Dang, Niram, you all up in the mic yarning? Wait a minute. Am I boring you?
No, baby. I'm sorry.
What was that Kanye who be like, I see the music and colors?
Yeah, he said he see sound.
You can see sound, but he mean like colors.
Yeah.
Niram, what's the next topic? Oh Lord, I already know what you're gonna say.
A motherfucking American Vandal.
So y'all talking about my choice in movies? Nero made me watch 4 hours of this shit this weekend. Every time the TV went on, we got on the couch to get cuddled up. I was like, oh, you can pick something back. And we kept watching American motherfucking Vandals. It's on Netflix. I said nigga. Nero, do you want to tell the folks what like an overview of kind of what it's about when we talk about it a little bit?
So it's a docuseries. And there's
a satire, comedy, dramedy. I don't know what.
So it's a docuseries about a white boy. He's dumb as fuck.
Is he dumb?
No, he's like a douchey white boy.
Yeah.
I would say like a stoner kid or presents himself as a stoner kid or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I
whatever.
think. I don't know if he really like that or if that's how he presents himself.
Very multi-level. But one of the things that he does for fun is he just draws dicks.
Oh my god!
Like
yeah,
like cartoon dicks.
Yeah.
And I knew people like that in
Was
college.
it you?
No.
In college?
Yeah, I knew people like that in college. They just drew dicks. Like they were so fascinated with it. They just
Dicks
drew
and boobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I knew niggas that just drew boobs and shit.
Oh my god!
And so that's what he did. And then what happened was one of the teacher prep days where all the students were gone. Somebody drew dicks on 27 cars.
Yes.
And then they instantly blamed him and about to give him a felony and all this other shit because he drew dicks.
Yes. So due to his prior reputation of kind of being class clown, talking too much, skipping class, just being for all the teachers out there, that student who be too much, meaning for example, I knew he was too much so examples of things he would do is he going up and sharpen his pencil, right? Instead of sharpening your pencil and being done and to let you sharpen, he keeps sharpening the pencil. Mm-hmm. To the point where it's like, stop sharpening your pencil, sit down. Mm-hmm. Or like he had detentions for like making whale noises. So this type of student. So again, not something that anyone's getting hurt by. Like this, I don't want y'all to think this is the type of person who going around fighting, whooping asses. No. Like not that type of person. But just the one who be too damn irritating.
The prankster, class clown type.
Yes, so that's what he was. And like Niram said, somebody drew all these penises on the cars and they immediately thought it was him. And what they did though, they expelled this boy on the spot. Like it was about to send him to jail and everything, right? And then from that, what happened there?
From that's when his colleagues from the AV club.
Did you say his colleagues?
Yes, his colleagues from the AV.
These
club.
are the kids that was in the AV club because he was cameraman.
Yeah.
For their like morning homeroom show.
Yeah.
That's what the guy who was accused of it was, and something about it was like. What made them get interested in saying, I don't know if this was him?
Because at first it's like, truthfully, we don't think he's smart enough to do it.
Yeah, because it was very intricate. Like, let's be clear. Like, I know we're making it sound downsized to say people just threw penises on cars, but to draw 27 penises on these cars with no one to see you. Oh, and the camera footage was deleted.
Right.
So he had to draw these penises on the cars, then go into the security room, delete the footage. For this time, like it was just a lot of moving pieces to it.
Yeah.
And if you seen this boy, you'd be like,
I don't think he that smart.
I don't think you did all that. Mm-hmm. Maybe if you drew the penises, I feel like he would maybe draw one or two penises and then would smile at the camera.
Yeah.
He that type.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they commenced to do this documentary to try to get to the truth, air quotes. Mm-hmm. Nero. What else you want to say?
I thought it was a good documentary for high schoolers.
It was excellent. Like I was not team watching this at all, but y'all absolutely should go check it out. It's like half an hour. It's 8 parts.
Yeah,
all a half an hour. And what it it walks you through kind of their process and getting to know who they are, what they look like, what's their background, what's their friends, and all that stuff. What I found interesting, some pieces I found interesting was it was just kind of examining, high school life. I think you said the best, Niram, that people change, but the characters don't. Mm-mm. Right? So the people that they were showing is like, I could go back to my high school and say, oh, that was so-and-so. This was me. That was her. Like I could go back and place that. And I found that funny and interesting and intriguing. But going back to the douchey white boy, they accused him of, like, he hung out with this group of folks that they call the Wayback Boys.
Yeah.
And they would just create YouTube videos.
Yeah, think low rate jackass.
Yes. And like they had one YouTube video, so they just go fart in preschoolers' faces. Mm-hmm. Now that I done said it out loud. And they showed it. Mm-hmm. And they would just fart by them and run away, and the preschoolers would just start crying. So they would do things like that. But some of the things that came up for me while I was watching it was this idea of high school love. Wasn't that something? So the thing was, do you want to kind of maybe wrap up the story now before we start breaking down?
Shit, you kind of just took over. I
didn't
know where was that.
Are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Are you here, Nero?
I'm here.
So okay, I'll go through it. So they kept going back and forth, and they were the documentarian. Look, I'm using the words they use in documentarians. That's what they said. The folks who record the directors, they start interviewing folks at the high school and finding different things out. But at the end, it came out that this boy did not draw the dicks, right? And they had like actual footage to prove against it. And what happened was his girlfriend was the missing link. So his girlfriend actually was into playing video games, and she had the video game recorded in the background. What are they called? Like the first person shooter computer games?
Yeah.
And so she recorded a private session, and he came over to her to deliver some food because they had on again, off again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he just rolled up on her. But the thing was, she got caught in a compromising situation because she was playing this VR game with this other guy, and they was playing like strip poker with it. So every time somebody lose, somebody got to take off a shirt. So she just out there with her titties out on the camera, and then here come her boyfriend, right?
Right.
That they accused of shooting the dits, and that's where it was, right? But this was geo-stamp and photo stamp. So by him being at her house at this time, it shows that he couldn't have drew the dits.
Right.
And so that's what got him off, right? And that was the tea of it all. So you got this girlfriend that's like, hey, bitch, so you had this all along?
Yeah.
And you never was going to say something, and you was going to let him go out and like just do this?
Right.
And then the idea that he was just so in love with this girl.
He was.
So so what was messing him up is because he didn't have a strong alibi. So originally during this time, he said he was at his friend's house, right? And when they asked the friends was like, yeah, he was at our house, and then he went to this place to go take a poop. See, this is the shit we're talking about.
Right.
So they'll be having these serious conversations, then they'll be like, yeah, he don't like to poop at my house because he got a squishy seat. That makes me uncomfortable. And it's like, sir, you didn't have to say all that. But then you go to the place, and it's like, oh, he wasn't here. Look at the video camera. And then he'll be like, oh, I went to my girl's house.
Right.
So everybody's story is not consistent. And again, if you think back to high school, it makes sense. So he was like, well, I didn't want to tell my boys I was going to my girl's house because they say I'm pussy whipped.
Right.
So if I just tell them I'm going to take a poop, that'll give me enough time to go see my girl real quick, then come back over there.
Right.
Like, it's just all this shit. Like, what the fuck are y'all thinking? What are y'all talking about? Like, it was so interesting, cringeworthy, and good all at the same time. And like I said, it just brought up this idea of high school love. And you remember just being that in love?
Mm-hmm.
And he loved this girl, right?
Sure did.
But then her being him, she did him dirty on that one.
Sure did.
And and the thing he's talking about, I ain't want to share because I ain't want to get out that I was cheating on you. Sis, he's about to go to jail and be suspended and expelled.
Right.
What are you talking about? And then also, something else got me is that they had like this conversation about hay with two Y's. Y'all gonna have to watch this documentary. We're just skimming over it.
Right.
But so one of the cases was that one of the students said that he's seen the douchey white boy do it. Right? Mm-hmm. And that was the strongest school board case. It was like, we have a student who said they seen you. And this student was like, honor roll, straight A, or you're going to get the one who make whale noises and fart at preschoolers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then what the documentarians did, here I go again. They was like, well, you can't, I don't know if his name was Paul or what. They was like, you can't believe him because he said he hooked up with so-and-so and he ain't hook up with her. He a liar. Like, how you gonna gauge somebody integrity on who they said they slept with, right? They was like, oh, that nigga a liar. Like, he always exaggerate. You can't believe shit he say.
He a little bitch.
Yeah, he a bitch. Yeah, he a bitch. He do this shit for attention. And it turned out that they were right. But what was funny was when they were interviewing them, they were like, you say you hooked up with so-and-so, prove it. And this motherfucker broke out his phone and was like, look at these text messages. Mm-hmm. And it was like, hey, I'm heading to the campfire. You want to come? Blah, blah, blah. And then after a while, like the girl was like, I think the next day she was like, hey, you want to meet down by the pond? Mm-hmm. And he was like, look, she said, hey, with two Y's. That means she want to hook up. What the fuck? How did we come to that? Is that what the kids do now?
Yeah, I'm looking at the memes.
They was like, the more Y's you have in the hey, it gets like sexy.
Yeah.
It gets sexual. So just the H-E-Y, it's like, oh, hey, how you doing? But as H-E-Y-Y-Y-Y, that means DTF, down the fuck.
Yeah.
When did that happen? I gotta go back and watch my text messages I'm sending. I love a hey.
You need four hey. You need hey with four Y's. Yeah. Say let's fuck.
Really? So that little stuff that I realized that I'm getting old, and it kind of brought a little snicker to my face. And also they talked about other things, like they had the gym teacher who was sleeping with the other mamas. They had one history teacher who got fired because he talking about, yeah, that student pretty high. I can't believe she would sleep with somebody, like on the film. Like, this school is imploding. You got teachers recorded talking about, yeah, you might not have did it, but your personality is still fucked up and I don't believe in you. Like, when I tell you this was going in, it was going in. Also, something that stood out to me about it was, what do you do when your kid is crazy? Because my heart kind of sunk for the douchey white boy mama. Because what do you do when your kid is crazy? Because I think she was the first interview, and it was like, so what do you think? Do you think he did it? She's like, no, because he's done dumb things, and he'll tell me, like, he doesn't lie. Well, sometimes he do lie. I mean, yeah, he lied, but I can tell when he lying. What the? Sis, this not helping.
You kind of can tell when you lie.
Yeah, you can tell. But still, how do you do, like, the conversation I was having with Nero was, how do you will, if you have a child, how do you will them in on that shit? Like, how many times, like, is it okay if your kid constantly coming home with detentions and failing? How do you will that shit in? Or you don't will it in?
Like I told you.
Like, when is the boundary? Because I think, especially us as a brown community, whenever the kid cut crazy, do something crazy, the first thing we say, it goes back to the parents.
Yep.
But as a parent, what do you do when you have no control no more? How do you bounce back? Like, how do you? Because to me, he grown as hell.
Shit, you leave him to the wolves.
But that's your child.
Sometimes, you got to be like dogs.
What?
When the mama dog think the baby is gonna be a bitch, she kill him.
Oh my god, Nero.
What?
How do you apply that to life? You can't just kill people.
Kill you, yeah.
But that's. I think that's, as a woman, and again, as I know, it's Scorpio season and the moon is in Leo. Like, I immediately want to be like Mama Bear or Mama Lioness and be like, well, how do you protect your child in a situation like that? So, okay, yes, his past reputation isn't the best, but he did not fucking do this. And how do you protect them in that? Or how do you help train and groom them to say, you can't keep doing this fuck shit? Or is it something you got to get earlier?
I think you got to get earlier. Like, once you get to high school,
you were saying
still fucking up.
You were saying some behaviors are just who people are. And there's nothing you can do to change it. It doesn't matter on a parent, the environment. Some people, this is just who they're predisposed to be.
I really think so.
Really?
Yeah. You think about brothers and sisters who've grown up in the same household, same mother. They had the same parenting.
Yeah,
and
same opportunities.
Yeah, same opportunities. One student go to Harvard, the other student go to the fucking prison.
It wouldn't know.
But I really do think that some people are just predisposed for it. Like, I just think about the parent who, the parents who have who has a PhD. So mom and dad got a PhD, and their son end up being fuckboys with no degree and flunking out.
Yeah,
I feel like for those type of personalities, it's just predisposed.
But I felt empathy for that parent, for that mother, and that stepdad, where I think the scene that kind of broke my heart is when they were going suit shopping because they thought he had to go to court. And you could see the hurt look in that mama and the stepdad talking about, the stepdaddy said something stupid. Like, just something dumb. Or like they said something dumb about, like, at least not a funeral, or like, really? Was that the appropriate thing to say? Like, and you could just see that her heart kind of sank to be like, what do you do when, you're up against the wall like this, right? But in the end, the real fucked up part. So when they realized it wasn't him, they got the proof, he got off, expulsion revoked, he's coming back to school, right? Charges dropped. He'd allegedly the man on campus. Everyone's bigging him up. Yeah. Big welcome. They thanking them because they did what white people do. So when injustices go wrong, it reminds me of white ass New England. It's kind of like what the University of Hartford did for old girl. So before, behind closed door, before social media got against it, everybody was saying how he trash, ain't about shit, ain't gonna be shit, right? Yeah. But once it hit the fan, everyone's team him, and we so glad you free and come finish out your senior year and be great, right?
All right.
So he did that, and through that process, because they all watched the documentary as a whole, as a group, he realized how much shit people was talking. He realized them motherfuckers wasn't friend. But that isn't the sad part. Two sad things. The first sad thing is we never figure out who did the dits.
No.
Who writ them dits? They insinuated that it's the class president. But sis said, not today, Satan. I'm graduating, and this is off the record. But the even saddest part is, that teacher who told them students they ain't gonna be shit, never gonna be shit. His dumb ass went to her house and drew a penis on her sidewalk.
Sure did.
And ended up going to jail for that.
Yep.
God damn it.
Stupid ass.
This is what I'm talking about. I was so angry with him.
Why you was angry, baby?
Because I thought he was going to move forward. I thought he was going to move forward. And then his dumb ass got the nerve to lie. The person who did documentary was like, did you do X, Y, and Z? And he was like, no. Mm-hmm. And he was like, they got video cameras.
And he's like, fuck. Stupid ass.
That broke my heart. So, I thought it was interesting. I kind of took over that a little bit, Neil. You can definitely jump in more. So, if you're looking for something to watch, like a weekend watch, go watch that. It's called American Vandal. And it's going to make you laugh. It's going to make you cry. It's going to make you feel all type of feelings. But I'm telling you, that high school love, that hey with two Y's, them gym teachers, fucking all types of folks, the system. Also, the bottom line came to me, get you a lawyer.
Yes.
Don't ever talk to anyone, be it if you're a student in K through 12, higher ed, or an employee. Anytime you got to go before a board, some type of, as lawyers say, any type of kangaroo court shit.
Get a lawyer.
Get a fucking lawyer. I don't even care if it's a bad lawyer. Just have a lawyer present. Because even through his expulsion, he didn't have a lawyer present to the end.
Right.
He shouldn't even talk to no damn body to the damn end. Get y'all a lawyer. You got anything else about American Vandal?
I think the only thing else that I have about this is that I think what's interesting is the burden of proof that you need to be kicked out and or expelled from school versus the law.
Yeah. Well, explain to the folks the difference.
So, the law, when somebody's like, he did this, you got to have proof. Like, you got to prove that he did it. Versus in, schools and things of that sort, they don't need as much proof to.
They just need a hunch.
Yeah. I forgot what it's called, but when it's like,
preponderance.
Preponderance of evidence. So that's like 51%. So if you're more likely than not to do it, then they can expel you and shit like that. Versus
having
law.
Proof.
Yeah, versus like real law and going to jail, like you need what they call like the burden of proof. So they actually got to prove that this person did this. Yeah. So it was just interesting that when they had this hearing for the dicks being drawn all over the place, and they was like, well, we got this one person and he said it, so we just gonna believe him.
And he done drew dicks before.
Right.
So he must have did it.
Right.
What the fuck? I couldn't have been his mama. Not good enough. And you ain't had no camera. You ain't had no footage. Not good enough. So I think that's on my advocacy. Oh, last funny thing. It was hilarious in there. Like, so the guys are trying to investigate and break the story apart. And part of breaking the story apart was saying that the guy who said he saw him was a liar because he ain't sleep with this girl. But the other part was in the way the penises were drew. Mm-hmm. The douchey white boy was like, I didn't even draw those penises. I always add ball hair. And I do a mushroom cap, not a heart as the head of the penis. Like, it was like, what the fuck?
Right.
You're about to go to jail, sir, and you're arguing over ball hairs.
Yes.
Like, so that's the type of stuff that you're like, oh, they young babies. Mm-hmm. They don't understand they young babies. All right, Nero.
We got some kitchen table talk.
Of course, yes. So, to submit your kitchen table talk, Bruss This Cuz, submit your questions to blacklovematters@gmail.com, or you can leave us a voicemail at 508-784-1111. Again, that's 508-784-1111. It reads, hey, Niram and Nyambi, I love the podcast. I have a question for you. When do you know it's the right time to move in with your partner? I've been with mine for about 2 years, and I think we're ready to make the move. Any advice you can give us?
Yeah, I think now's around about the same time. 2.5 years. Save a little, y'all can save up a little bit of money. I think that's about. Sounds about right.
Is that no? Sis, that ain't it.
Oh.
So when you mean moving in, are y'all? Niram, you threw me off.
My answer threw you off?
Yes, because you talking about it's about that time.
Yeah, it's about that time.
When moving in, are y'all trying to just be roommates, or is this moving in going to how to show
significantly?
us? Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. How am I trying to say?
Signify?
Yes.
Oh.
I couldn't get it out, honey.
Look whose speech impediment working on
it
them
was,
now.
maybe it was that glass of wine I had. My words start slurring together. And movement in your relationships. Mm-hmm. So what I've noticed now is sometimes us ladies in relationship, or just men too, we try to use this moving in and be like, oh, well, we gonna move in, then we gonna get married. And that's not always the goal, right? So sometimes folks move in together because it's a smart decision. It's a great way to save a couple coins for a year. But just because you move in with somebody, that does not necessarily mean that you're taking it to the next step. So before you even do that, I think I would have the conversation on, say, what is the direction of our relationship?
Yeah.
So by us moving in together, what does that mean for us? What does that mean long term? What does that mean short term? So first, sis, get that explicit and what that means. Also, some stuff before you move in, I think it's important is for you to establish finances. So who gonna pay what? Is this a 50-50? Is this an old school? Is he paying the mortgage and you paying everything else? Like, I think it's very important before y'all even begin to look for apartments to figure out finances. And once you figure out finances, then you can talk about your budget. Again, don't just go looking at apartments because you're going to want the most expensive one or the nice fancy. That's
Niggas want pools and shit.
That's
no
what
wonder
you're
you don't
going to
swim.
want, right? And it's not that you don't swim, but how much you... If two people going to move in the house, I believe it should be cost effective. I don't think two people should be living in a house struggling unless you live like in New York or LA, right? If you don't live in one of them areas, if two grown people are in the house, folks should not be struggling to make bills work. So I think it's time to have an honest conversation about finances, finance goals, and budgeting, and make it clear who's going to pay what by when. This is the time to have a conversation, I think, about credit, because you don't want something to happen where if y'all doing the 50-50 and they don't got that other end,
then they're going to be looking at you.
Then they're going to be looking at you. Making the decision who name going to go on the lease. Is one person, both people, knowing if it's just one person, if they want you to get the fuck out, guess what? You got to get the fuck out because it's what? They house, right? If you're going to do both of y'all on the lease, you have to make the decision if one of y'all don't pay, that's your credit on the line. Like, these are conversations you got to have, and I think it's serious.
Or having separate leases. Some places
do that. Yeah, I don't know if a lot of states do that, but like some of the Midwest, I know Midwest and the South, they're able to do this separately. So if you're able to do that, I definitely would look into that. Because that way, but if they don't pay, they can kick them out and they can sublease your shit to somebody else. But still, at least it ain't messing up your credit. So I think that's important.
Who gonna pay for groceries? Who gonna clean?
Yes. So this is that's the secondary conversation. So I think, especially when you're moving in your partner, I think it's a honeymoon for what would you say, Mace? About 3 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think about 3 months or so, it's like a honeymoon where everything's amazing. I make you dinner. Right. Here's some champagne.
We cook together.
But
we
around month 4, when you find a pair of drawers where a pair of drawers don't need to be, or some clippings or some toenail, you find some shit or you fall in the toilet, that's when it ain't cute.
Oh, wow. Or you got hair cockabugs on the floor.
Oop. You tried it. But I mean, that stuff, or the sink cloth, some with hair or something like that's when it start hitting wrong. So I think that you have to start having a conversation. Maybe not before you move in, but that first couple months when you're in honeymoon to really establish, like, what does this mean in our house? And you're setting the tone for, if you are going to marriage, what that means and what it looks like. And you also have to have the conversations about like values, right? Yeah. So can people be up over our house all types of night? Can they come in and out? Like, these are really conversations. You need cleanliness. Cleanliness is important to me and what that means. And even before you move in, some other stuff I think you need to be aware of is how y'all argue. Are y'all constantly arguing now? If you're constantly arguing now, being in the same household ain't gonna make it better.
Sure. Right.
So I always tell folks, don't have a baby and don't move with each other to try to save a relationship. Just let it go. Looking at their past history. So like we said, we talked about the budgets and brought everything forward. I think finances are like STDs. Just talking about it not good enough. I need paperwork.
Oh.
So you can tell me you don't got no STDs, but I need the paperwork from the doctor. You can tell me you pay your bills on time. You can tell me what bills you have. You can tell me how much you bring home, but I need to see it. What I tell you now, I need passwords.
She need passwords, y'all.
I need passwords to the electric bill because I can't be coming in here and the light shut off and I don't work all damn day. So, and if they're not comfortable relieving that with you, well, you ain't comfortable living with me, right? So I think this, again, when you're moving in with each other, it's a just different level of the relationship, right? And then we talked about this too, but really getting that cleanliness down. I'm telling you, that cleanliness will throw you off. right? So if you a neat freak type A, you either need to be okay with the way they make it work, or you need to be okay with cleaning yourself. Or I've also seen couples, when they move into each other, they actually set a budget aside for like to have someone come in and clean.
Yes.
Like they have not went out to dinner or sacrificed, a trip or something a year to have a maid to come in and clean up after them, because it's that important. And those are sacrifices you have to make. And then, like I said, it's about boundaries. It's about setting up clear boundaries and what that means and what it looks like. What's some other stuff you can think about when we moved in, Nero?
I think the arguing is a big point, because especially if y'all have been in a relationship and y'all hasn't had that time of being in the space for a long period of time. One of the things you also need to think about is like the co-mingling aspect. So, my Naomi mentioned like the whole argument things, but when people first move in together, they feel like they need to be everywhere at the same place all the time.
Make sure you both have isolated spaces in your new home.
Yes.
Where you can do what you need to do.
Have your woman cave, have your man cave.
Yes, and make it clear. Even if you're in a little small bedroom studio in New York, I don't care if you just got a corner. Mm-hmm. It might be a corner in times that you need to be alone, but I think that's very important.
I think that's definitely one of the top ones that I can think of off the top of my head.
The other one I can think about is like furniture. So how do you so this is only if you all have separate places. So if this is your first places together, it's more fun because I think you can kind of create your style by yourself. But if you have an apartment or a space and then they have a space.
Oh, y'all got conflicting ass furniture?
Yes.
Shit don't match.
So, he come with a red ass leather couch and you got a gray sectional. Y'all don't need all that in there. So really trying to figure out, what that means and talk about it before you get into it and make it a fun thing. A lot of it, I think a lot of the hurt and trials come as if you can have honest conversations before.
Right.
About the little things.
And then what happens if y'all break up and y'all got like a cat or dog?
Yes.
Who
or
gets the
just
dog?
If you break up, period, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Are you going to live just as roommates?
Who gets the dog?
Yeah.
Who gets the cat? Are y'all doing like 50-50 custody?
Okay. All right, Nero.
All right.
But I think it's okay. Yeah. But then the last piece I want to say is be prepared. I don't know what your family or friends, but I know a lot of time in the brown community, there's sometimes the stigma about moving in with each other and not being married. Mm-hmm. So I'm not against shacking up. I think it's a smart move sometimes, especially if you've been in a relationship for a long time, and just being ready to kind of navigate through that. What do you think? What's your ideas on shacking up?
Do it.
What? Go for it.
Go for it.
Did your family ever say anything about us living together?
No.
My family didn't either. I think in their head they wanted to say something, but I was too. It was my money, right? So I think it'd be different if they was using their money,
right?
But it's like I work. This is what I put the work into. So this is what I'm going to do, right?
Yeah, I never had anything from my parents.
Is that becoming more outdated? The idea of shacking up?
I would think so.
Maybe because it's the East Coast and everybody gotta have roommates, but.
Well, they said millennials are getting married less than they're opting to buy houses than to get married.
It's easier to get out of a mortgage
than it is to get out of marriage. Shit.
Come on. You can find it's easy to get a mortgage to leave. You can find a subset, honey.
Exactly. Who the fuck
want to sublet? Come on.
Who the fuck want to go
You can't sublet that wife though.
Sure, okay.
Come on. Well, hey, it depends.
It's cheaper to keep her.
But I would say go for it. Go with your gut. I think before you wrote this email, you already knew the answer. Big red flag too. If you moving in to try to fit something, don't do it.
No. Absolutely not.
But and also be okay if you move in with them and it don't go the way it's supposed to go, right? Mm-hmm. So just know at the end of that lease or before however you're gonna do it, be willing to move on and be all right with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Well, good luck to you.
Good luck.
I hope that helped.
Me too. Well, this is a great episode, babe.
As always.
So as always, to submit your Black Love Story, go to blacklovematters.com/love story to submit a question about kitchen table talk. Shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. To leave us a comment about anything we talked about, go to blacklovematters.com or SoundCloud, or you can leave us a voicemail, and that's at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Also, remember, leave those 5-star reviews.
Yeah, y'all have a good Monday, okay?
Yeah.
So talk to y'all later, and remember,
love is ever evolving.
Peace.
Peace.